Okay, YouTube singers. Today's project is O mio babbino caro. And if you have been getting the note that your Italian is not up to snuff, this is the place for you. We will go through all of the tricks on how to get you sounding like a native speaker and also most of the common errors that I have heard over the years in auditions. So let's go first of all through the words one at a time, and I will discuss things as we go. So the first line, O mio babbino caro. Okay, so the first word O is a strong monosyllable, and what that means is most one syllable words in Italian cause the next word, the first letter of the next word, to double. Okay, and how that's done is very slightly between the O and the mio, you hear this, O mio. Instead of O mio, O mio. So there's just a little bit of right? If you do too much, it's overdone, right? So just very slightly, O mio. See, just on the way to the mio, you go a little right? So, O mio. Okay, next word, babbino, babbino. So if you notice, there's a double B. And what I hear a lot of times is that American singers sing, they stop. Their jaw almost snaps shut. So they double like this, babbino, right? With a very short ah. Well, Italians actually have a hard time hearing the difference between single B and double B, and there's no stop in phonation when it's done right. So here's double B, babbino, babbino. So you see, my phonation never cut short. So there's a double B, babbino. Single B, babbino. See, single B. So single B is aio, just like that, like the vowels stay. Aio, babbino. So babbino, babbino is the wrong one. You see, that's the really short one. Okay, so reading this first line, you can make a ton of mistakes, right? And then people are sitting there in your audition, and they're like, "Oh God, I have to listen to her sing this whole aria now." So you want to have that nice flow through that first line. The next word, caro. So there's a single R, right? Single R. Caro means dear, beloved, dear. If you say carro, it means something else, like a boxcar to a train or a stagecoach or something like that. Caro, carro. See, so rolled R, carro, no, caro. So the first line, O mio babbino caro, right? Caro. Okay. Next, mi piace, mi piace. So mi is a weak monosyllable. So it's actually easier to memorize the weak monosyllables than the strong ones. So what I hear all the time in this is mi piace with a double P where it doesn't belong. So this is a weak monosyllable, so it flows really nicely. Mi piace. Okay? E bello. So the first two words that you need to memorize are open and close is the single letter E. Where it's and, it's a, and where it is open, it's a. It means is. So the word is a. The word and a, right? So a. Okay? The word is has an accent. È bello. È bello. Okay? So there are two L's, bello, bello. So you have to go right? You have to phonate on the L. Bello. One L, bello. Bello. Two L's. Okay? So mi piace bello bello. Vo, it's open. Open O. Vo andare. Andare. So the N goes around and around, right? So this word does what's called a giro in Italian. It goes around. The girare is to turn. So vo andare in Pɔrta Rossa. So the N before the P becomes an M. So you're going to say porta, porta. See, your lips come together. The N does what's called an assimilation. In porta. So if you were to do the N in your mouth, the N would go like this. In porta. Now you notice I had to put a N to get to the P. In porta. In porta. In the porta. There's no way to get from the N to the P legato, right? So the assimilation happens when people speak. Importa. Okay? So sometimes you'll hear an Italian singers actually sing in porta, and it's basically because they were reading the text and they go, oh, there's an N there. You see, but if they're not thinking about it, they'll say very naturally, importa. Okay, does that make sense? So the N is really an M in that case. Rossa. The O is closed. So now we talk about stressed vowels. Stressed vowels can be either open or closed. And despite what anybody has told you, there are no rules. Okay, it doesn't matter if there's a single consonant after a double consonant. If it's stressed, it can be open or closed, and you have to memorize it. Either you have to memorize them all, or you have to at least memorize it for your aria. So you only worry about the stressed ones. Now, the good news is the unstressed vowels are closed. All of them, right? Even though you see them in the diction books as marked open. Okay, and the reason for this is that they don't want you to close down your voice by singing A, right? So it's more like oh, right? Not A, oh. So they don't want those little closed vowels like that, right? So you tend to open them, but they still have the characteristic of O and A. They cannot be A and A. Okay? So we're making sense. See, three lines in this aria, and there's lots of things that are kind of off the ink, what they say, off the ink in jazz, you're off the ink. Italian has a lot off the ink. So if you get the off the ink part, then you get the spiciness of the language. Okay? So this whole line, vo andare in Pɔrta Rossa. Next line, a cooperar l'anello. Okay, so the A is a strong monosyllable. It makes a slight double C. How I make the double C is just by stopping phonation. A cooperar. I go right up to the C and I just don't say it, and then I say it. You see? A cooperar. I don't do it by making two C's. I don't go a cooperar. You see? No, I don't do that. A cooperar. It's nice. It's firm. It's like nice pasta that's been cooked beautifully, right? It's not mushy. A cooperar. No, too mushy, right? A cooperar. Oh, the pasta just came out of the box that way. So it's just enough to make it firm, right? To bite back a little bit. A cooperar l'anello. So open E, l'anello. L. Double L. How do I make a double L? I go L with my vocal cord going. See? Anello. Single L. Anello. Anello. So anello means ring. Anello is breath. Anela. Anello is breathless. Right? So double L. Anello. Okay. Next line. The word C is a strong monosyllable, right? So you have CC. You can do that. Or you can say CC, ci voglio andare. So remember, the doubling word doubles the next thing. Now, I have CC. I have two doubling words in a row. I can't double both. It would be vulgar. It would just be too much. I can't say CC ci voglio andare, you see? It just doesn't sound right. Right? So you have a choice. When you have two doubling words in a row, you can either double from the first to the second or from the second to the third. So doubling from the first to the second, sì, ci voglio andare. doubling from the second to the third. Sì, sì, ci voglio andare. The music tends to do that second one, so I would suggest you do the second one. But if you're a very creative type, you could do the first one. Right? I love options. Those are always good. Okay, voglio. The first O is stressed, and you have to memorize that it's open. The last one we know is closed because it is unstressed. Voglio. Andare. It's one of those words that go around. See the N phonates. Andare. Single R, not rolled R. Not andare. No. Andare. Okay, good. Going on. E se l'amassi indarno. I'll do one word at a time. E se, closed. L'amassi indarno. So the R, so how we know to roll R's? Well, R's that touch consonants and our final are rolled, right? So or our final. I don't mean and our final. They don't have to have both conditions, right? So if you touch a consonant, it's rolled. So the R of indarno touches an N. So it is rolled. If it were surrounded by vowels, like caro, it would be flipped. Next line. Andrɛi. So again, it goes around. Andrɛi. It's open E. And then there's an E at the end. And there's a rolled R because the R touches an N. Sul ponte. Closed O. Vɛcchio. Again, I do the double C by going up to the C and then just stopping. And then I do Vɛcchio. I don't do Vɛcchio and cut the vowel short. I hear that a lot. Vɛcchio. Now, when you speak, you can say Vɛcchio. So if you're an Italian speaker, you say Vɛcchio, right? But when you go to sing, you have to elongate, right? So this is the difference between lyric diction and spoken Italian. Ma per. So notice it doesn't rhyme with pear. Per. So it's r. Per. Buttarmi. So double T, rolled R. Indarno, rolled R. So there's a lot of rolled R's in this line. Ma per buttarmi in Arno. Okay, that's the whole line. Mi struggo. Here's the one that I hear wrong all the time because people sing mi struggo and you hiss on the S, and the S is actually on the first note. It's on that E flat instead of the A flat, right? Mi struggo. No, mi struggo. You see, that's where you want the first vowel to be E. No, so also mi is a weak monosyllable. So you don't want to double the struggo. Okay. A mi. Now you have a strong monosyllable, but very slight double M. Tormento. The E is closed. See, stressed and closed. No rule. Just have to memorize. No rule. Despite what anybody told you, there's no rule. Tormento. Okay. Dio. See, so now you're mildly excited. You say, oh Dio. Right? You're really excited. You say, oh Dio. So the O gets longer. The vowels get longer. And then the space gets longer before the doubling. The D doesn't get bigger, ever. The consonant. No. Oh Dio. See? It's the space and then the vowel. Vorrɛi. See, so this first is unstressed, the first O. So it's vorrɛi. Double R, it's rolled. Morir. So the R in between is between two vowels, the first R. Morir. Say, not morir, morir. And it's closed though, because it's unstressed. The word is morire. Morire, right? And when you truncate that E at the end, it ends up rolled. Morir. Babbo. Not babbo, but babbo. The phonation never stops. It's a good word to practice double B on. right? It's Tuscan for daddy. Babbo, right? Babbo. Now you have pietà, that's short for pietade. So this is another truncated word. So the Italians notate the truncation by putting an accent grave on the A, right? The A vowel, right? So it causes a phrasal doubling to itself. So when you say pietà, pietà, see, you have a double P on the next pietà, pietà, pietà. So that's a two-syllable word that causes a phrasal doubling. So now, because this is a short aria, I'll read the whole text. And you can pause the video and repeat every line after me. O mio babbino caro, mi piace bello bello, vo andare in Pɔrta Rossa a comperar l'anello. Sì, ci voglio andare. E se l'amassi indarno, andrei sul Ponte Vecchio, ma per buttarmi in Arno mi struggo e mi tormento. Oddio, vorrei morir. Babbo, pietà, pietà. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Take a look at my links below. I have links to my LA, New York, San Diego, and new Palm Springs studio, and to my Facebook. And as always, please comment below and leave your requests.